that someone would take as a first step, hiring a publisher. To me, that's someone who is like going to a vanity press, and they're taking their money and they're not doing anything for them except printing the book. So it's really interesting that people come to you and say, "Oh, I've hired a publisher." That is so beyond what I can imagine. But that's, I guess, how some people think, because I do know that everybody does have a book inside of themselves. Everybody does. They just don't know how to get it out. So you are a perfect vehicle for that.
Exactly, Gail. It's also interesting is that I have publishers calling me saying, Shira, I've had this person on the books now for 6 months, 9 months, 7 months, and we don't have the content for the book. We'll pay you. Here's the author. Make it happen. And
that's unusual too. That's unusual too.
I go through that on a fairly regular basis. I think the reason, to be truthfully honest, that a lot of people will hire the publisher first, and it's not to say anything negative by any stretch of the imagination, it's just given where people are at any given point in time, the opportunity, they have their idea, they think they can take it on their own and deliver to the publisher, and the opportunity of a publisher shows up, and I've seen this happen over and over again at different types of speaking events and workshops and conferences and things like that, and they are offered this what appears to be phenomenal price point, and they go, oh my God, I've got to lock in that price point, and then they'll go, I'll deal with writing the book after. And like you said, one of the gifts I have is to sit with someone as they come to me and say, hey, I have this idea. How do I turn it into the end result of a book and or an educational program, whether it's a webinar, a workshop, a conference, a seminar, or even online program. And that's what I help people do. I help them sift through their thoughts, their ideas, and then have them congeal like Jell-O, if you will. So it's all this liquid and we're moving back and forth, and then we go, okay, here's where. And that's what I have the insight. And my gift is all about is I can see beyond just the idea and then how to market it for them so that it's a full concept and it's a full idea and it's a full project, not just I have an idea and here's the publisher and what do we do in between.
Wow. Well, I can tell that this is kind of where your heart is, but do you have another passion in your life?
I absolutely do, Gal. For me, one of the biggest passions, like I started to say before, was to make a difference in people's lives. And it's kind of interesting how I got into this because it was it actually was through the back door. I still do and will continue to coach with, high-end executives, C-level business professionals, business owners, all at a very, very high level in terms of them having their business work, having their life work, making the life that they want to have without regret so that they can be there for their employees, for their clients, and continue to be successful. And how the book piece came out was that this was a component of what their goals, what they want to achieve. And just like you said, and Gail, I loved how you said it, that everybody has a book in them. Without any question, every single human being on this planet has a book. Whether it's a children's book, whether it's a biography, whether it's a how-to book, whether it's just sharing ideas and concepts, everybody has a book, and we work with people on in all different industries, all different genres, you name it, we work with them. So when I've worked with people, these high-end people, what happened was they just said, a book is part of it. And I said, okay, here's how we can do it. And then that became part of their program for me to be able to work with them. So it's, it was interesting. People talk about it as coaching, and I don't even view it that way. I view myself as almost as a strategist, if you will, that I sit down and hear what it is they want to accomplish, the goals that they want to meet, the desires that they have, and work with them to build the strategy, have them see what they need to see so that we together partner, build the strategy, and make it all happen in less than a year or 6 months, depending upon what the goals are and what the desires are.
Wow. Well, that's really fascinating. And we only have a few minutes left, so I want to make sure that we find out a little bit more about Shira. I mean, what do you see yourself doing in the near future?
For me, it's doing a combination of the books. I have a full team in place that will support authors to get their books done if that's what they specifically want to do. If they already have a book and want to develop it into a live program or an online program, we can do that. And vice versa, where you've got a program, you want to convert it into a book, we can support you doing that. As well as the third part is working with people to really create strategies for them to have success in their family, their personal and their professional life, because you can't just have one without the other. It's truly living a full life without regret. And to me, making sure people do that, that's where my juice lies. That's why I get out of bed every morning, is to make sure people are living the life that they really live, their life of their dreams.
So where can people reach you, Shira? How can they get a hold of you? Where should they go to get the information?
Perfect. Thank you for that, Gail. As a matter of fact, I have a huge invitation for your listeners. So whether it's creating a book, creating a program, whether it's live or online, short or long, or wanting to work on your life and live the life of your dreams, I'm going to invite you to reach out to me. We do something called an accelerated session. And what that is it's an opportunity to sit down and speak with me one-on-one.
We only have 1 minute, Shira, so I want to make sure you get to where people can reach you.
Okay, got it. So you can reach me. My phone number is 818-209-1863 in the U.S. Again, that's 818-209-1863. And I'm on the Pacific time zone, so you're welcome to call, leave a message, and tell me that you heard me on Gail, and I will be more than glad to call you back and set up a time that we can speak. If you want to reach me by email, it's drshira, drshira, at thebookcreator.com. Again, that's dr, no period, Shira, SHIRA, at thebookcreator.com. And if you just put into the subject line, heard you on Gail, I will be more than glad to arrange a time for you to speak with me personally, one-on-one. It's an invitation open to everybody. We'll be more than glad to fill up the slots, and we'll figure it out and make it happen so that you have a strategy so that you don't have to live your life with regret. You get to live your life without regrets.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Shira. This has been wonderful. I know our listeners are going to really enjoy this and really embrace the concept of doing this in less than 90 days and come out with a book. I think it's fabulous. Thanks so much for being with us, and continued best wishes.
Thank you, Gail, and the same to your listeners.